Hi, and welcome to the Divinely Inspired Woman podcast. I am your host, Patricia Wald-Hopkins. I am a modern mystic, and I am here to share with you the beautiful wisdom and stories from women that desire to lead their lives inspired by the divine within them. The divinely inspired woman is devoted to walking the path of her soul's calling, tuning into the divinity within to navigate life with ease and grace through all circumstances. She cultivates beauty in her daily life. She is here to share the most authentic self each day through thick and thin. So I hope you enjoy our show today and that you will leave with an infusion of inspiration for your soul and for your day and living your life. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Divinely Inspired Woman podcast. I'm so happy to be here today and to have a very special, magical guest with me. I can already feel the light emanating from her. Welcome, Linsey Joy. Welcome, welcome. So glad to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here. It's wonderful to connect with you, Patricia.
So, as I haven't mentioned, I am your host, Patricia Wald-Hopkins. Sometimes I just assume you know, but just in case you're new to listening. And I would just like to introduce you a little bit more to Linsey and what magic she brings to the world, what medicine. So Linsey, she is an intuitive law of attraction coach and an international bestseller selling author. She has been working with the angels, energy, and manifestation since 2009, when she experienced a series of metaphysical events that opened up her world. She helps spiritual seekers who are ready to see their challenges in a new way, tuning into their own intuition and divine connection for guidance and joy. She uses her intuitive gifts, her personal development training, and healing in quantum frequencies to guide clients to shift their limiting beliefs into empowering perspectives and intentions. A former Montessori teacher, she also loves sharing peace education curriculum, so wonderful, and mindfulness to children, teens, and young adults. She's passionate about speaking and appearing in interviews and podcasts, yay, across the globe. And she first published at age 8. Oh, wow, you've been writing for a long time. Her multi-author books, Divinely Speaks and Betrayed, are bestsellers. Cool. And she is a California native, devoted wife, fur baby mama, a gamer, and an artist. Awesome. Beautiful. Well, welcome again, all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're here today because of a collaboration, that you and I were part of with the beautiful, amazing Abigail Mensah Ulmer. And it's this book, this co-authored book that we did called The Oracle, which is so precious and sacred. And you have a wonderful chapter in here that we're probably not going to read today, but what do you want to tell everybody the title of your channeled message in the Oracle?
Yes, yes. So I just have to start by saying that it was such a gift and a treasure to be a part of Oracle. When I first heard about Abigail's book, like there was like a fire that lit up inside me, and I didn't even know if I was going to be a participant at that point. But truly, clearly, it was divinely called, and um, I had some thoughts on what I was going to contribute, but since the book is all about channeling and channeled works, I try not to think too much about it. And then one day, a couple weeks before the due date, I just got this, it was felt like an energetic bubble inside me that just wanted to come out, and I knew it was time to write. And my chapter is called Dear Lightworker, Fabulous One, and it is a message from the angels to all the lightworkers who behold it. And it's very cool to me because, of course, these things come through the way they're supposed to. But the topic of my chapter, which I did not again plan, I just let it flow through like we do. It was about the very first spiritual lesson that I learned as an adult on my own. I was 21, and one of my first teachers in a personal development conference reminded us, you chose to be here. And it was like this bolt of lightning came through my body. It just like all my cells kind of woke up. And there was no way I could argue it. It was like remembering the message truly. And so the fact that this was the message that came through at this time when everything is going, you know, I don't want to say it's going wrong because it's going right. It looks it looks crazy on the surface, but really things are being revealed so that they can be healed, and we can ascend as individuals, and grow the consciousness of humanity and support Mother Gaia. Um, but it is a challenging lesson because even if our soul chose to be here in this wild time, we're still humans, and it's hard and it's messy. And there's a lot of um, different emotions that come through. Some of them are so hopeful and beautiful, and some of them are really challenging to bear some days. So that's what my message that I received is, and that's what my chapter in Oracle is about. That we chose as individual souls to be here right now in this life during this time. It was not an accident. It was not a punishment, and um, we came here to help. Um, and I don't even want to say help because that sounds like there's something wrong with the process, right? But we just came here to bring in the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we did. And sometimes we may ask, why did I say when it gets really chaotic? But I love that your chapter was a kind of like a call to action, or a gathering together of community, right? To do this. We're not doing this alone, right? We're not doing it alone. And I know you're probably going to be sharing a little bit more about other ways we're not alone on this planet, which I would definitely love to hear your whole story, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, just to kind of segue, I don't know if you want me to read just a little bit of the chapter.
I
Maybe
would love to if you
later.
have it available. Yes, please
Um,
do.
my chapter in itself is kind of short, but I'll just read the first few stanzas. It came through like a poem, which I love.
Yes,
Um,
I was reading it. Yes.
so I'll just so for the listeners that haven't read it yet, I'll just read the first few stanzas. Dear Lightworker, fabulous one, in this turbulent time, we want to remind you of that which you already know. You are here with a purpose. You have come to shine a light on the world. You have specifically chosen this incarnation for the exact purpose of being here. This here, this now, all that you are on this planet and many others, you have planned to the tiniest core detail. From skin tone to parents, wealth, status, and struggles, all details are critical to the mission you are now living on this earth. We come here to remind you of this because in your struggles, in your daily living, it is easy to turn off your deepest remembering, but can you feel it? This knowing that comes from deep within and lives in your divine. soul. And then later on the chapter, it goes on to say, the angels go on to remind us that when we're feeling lost and low, because
Mhm.
as we're watching the current events going on, and as we're all enduring personal challenges at a rate that feels like it's increasing, and we're seeing natural events, climate disasters, or all these other things that are happening, we are reminded that it's intentional and we're not alone. We're supported by God. We're supported, and that we don't have to do anything. Just by being here, we're sharing the light. And you mentioned my story, Patricia. One of the reasons that I'm so excited to talk with you, let me just get grounded here a little bit because I get a little bit excited and a little bit nervous. One of the There's this dichotomy that's happening in the world right now. We
Mhm.
have on the surface what looks really chaotic. And if you watch the news, which I hope you don't, you'll hear about everything that's going wrong. But what you're not hearing about is all of the support that we have. Um, and my awakening happened when I was in the early 2000s. I was married to my first husband, who was a psychic. And alongside of him, I had a lot of metaphysical events that I kept very quiet until just a few years ago. And I started speaking about them in the books that I've participated in. And Oracle was a really big challenge for me because it's like saying, okay, here I am, I'm a channel. But it's time for us to get
Mhm.
vocal
Mhm.
about what it is that we know and what it is that we do, and bringing in the spirit, even if it seems strange or weird. And one of the most strange or weird things that I have admitted in my life is how I have, and this is the first time I'm publicly telling this story, but one night around 2007-ish, I woke up in the middle of the night and there were these beautiful extraterrestrial beings standing on my bed.
Mhm.
And they
Wow.
woke me up in the middle of the night. And my husband at the time was lying next to me. He was asleep. And it was just a very instantaneous experience. It was literally 3 seconds. Woke up, stood above me, put his hand over me, and put me back to sleep. There were so many things that came out of that experience, but we cannot, that I can't deny the change.
Mhm.
Um, Biggest thing that I want to share with you and with your audience is the immense love and benevolence and
Mhm.
protection that just washed over me, that these beings are already here for. And we
Mm.
can go off, anybody can go off about, tinfoil hat stuff. There's so much of it out there. And I encourage people to explore if they feel called.
Mhm.
But what I really think that the conversation that us light workers should be having, Patricia, is about the fact that it is time to wake up. It is time to connect with whatever it is that is calling us individually, whether it's spirit, whether it's um, guidance from another realm, another dimension, um, and start speaking about it, because so many people aren't tuned in yet, that that's really our job right now. That even if it feels challenging, or even if it feels really weird, go ahead and own that weirdness, reclaim it, and make it your power. And that's again what my chapter in Oracle is about, is owning the fact that we are here to do this work. And you don't have to do anything special, just being ourselves is how we really let the light through. And um, So yeah, I feel like I didn't tell that as eloquently as I imagined that I would, but I know that my true intention, which is to uplift your listeners, um, hopefully that will come through because we are supported in so many more ways than most people realize. And I love that you're doing the work with Gaia and with your other people in the 3D world, like me and your other co-authors, your other guests. It is really time for us to get more vocal and get more active and
Yeah.
just let our light shine.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I felt the energy that you were speaking through words, right? It's hard to capture uh, that level of illumination in words. But what my question is for you is, and maybe this will help the audience to more deeply feel it, is like, what what in you shifted as a result of that experience? Like, I
That's
mean,
a
it could be physical, emotional, spiritual, mental. I don't know what did it shake you to the core? What was
Yes,
it?
yes, yes. And I feel like it's fair to admit that it was terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, no, really, right? Because
Right.
that's
And because of my personal experiences, I spend it is one of my fun passions, um, looking into things that are not widely known yet, going down rabbit holes. I think that um when it's like taking the opening Pandora's box, I guess. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube once you know. I also had another incredible experience, which I've never spoken about publicly before either, and that is the day after my first husband passed away.
Mm,
I was 32 years old. I'm happily
mm.
remarried now. God has blessed me with two go rounds of love. Um, but I had a beautiful experience where my first husband, who was able to see energy, gifted me his sight for a few
Oh, wow.
moments after a really beautiful um, lunch that I had with some of his childhood friends. We gathered just to visit, get to know each other a little bit, and afterwards we went out to the restaurant and or outside of the restaurant, and I was just sitting in the sun in a very peaceful moment, and I could just see the energy drifting through the air in little swirls and dots, just like he said it
Mm,
used to look. And so I feel very blessed and very lucky. I don't know why I was chosen to have these experiences, but I can't not use them to help raise the vibration of our world. It is something that has given me an unshakable faith. On one hand, it's been really beautiful, but like I said, it has been a little scary. It changed everything for me. And I think that is really the crux of what so many people are going to be going through this year is they're going to see our world in ways that they didn't realize things were. And that can be really shaking, even those of us who are ready for it. And
mm,
so, to anybody that's going through that now or that may go through that in the future, I just offer my love and I want to open my arms to you. I want to be a safe space for anybody that's going through that. It really is a crumbling, and I've been through it many times in my life, and it's challenging every time. And I think that's what our world is up against. Um, you know, I don't want to get too doom and gloomy or into shadow work, but a lot is changing, and we're not going to be able to put the toothpaste back in the tube, and we're just going to have to clean up the mess. We're going to clean it up together. And I really believe that the individuals of this world are going to come together. We're not going to rely on community. I'm sorry, we're not going to rely on government to fix things. We're going to be there for each other. And that's how we're going to spread the love and the light and the goodness of the world is through each other, one on one.
Yeah, beautifully said. Yes, definitely. It's the coming together in the community that is outside of the old structures. That is the new earth that is
Yes.
manifesting, right?
Yeah.
It's the connection, a different sort of existence than we've ever had. I mean, so many people have been talking about that, right? And we're here. It's it's upon us. I mean, that's, as you know, as I mentioned, that's, part of the work that I do with the Voices of Gaia is we're all voices of Gaia, and I just I feel like I know some of the light bringer is one of them, definitely. And that is about being that channel of bringing that, being a clear channel to bring that down, right? And when we all gather together, that channel's even larger. So I
Yeah.
really celebrate, that you are one of those and that you are here and um, speaking out and saying it's okay to claim that, right?
Yes, please claim it. Please. The world needs more of us to um, just kind of plant seeds.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that that maybe is worth mentioning that we as humans, we don't have to do everything all the time. I am definitely not. I don't feel like I'm bringing light 100% of the time. I have my moments,
I know.
um, and I think that something happened that kind of shook me yesterday. I was just flipping through my social media feed briefly, and um, somebody that is very spiritual in their life and their work had posted some things that were really hard to see and really, um, it was about things that are happening in the Middle East, really hard to bear, and it caught me off guard. And so I kind of feel like we never know when life is going to throw us a zinger, and there are so many people that are enduring really true hardships that, regardless of what they are, we're not going to bring the light 100% of the time. So I think that as we connect with each other, part of that is going to be taking turns, right? Can I support you while you're having a down moment? What can I do for myself while I'm having a down moment? And um, giving grace to ourselves and each
Mhm.
other when we are having that off day or that off 5 minutes or that off month, you know. Um, it's a balance and it's a journey, and we're all going through it right now.
We
That's
are.
the good news, but it's also the hard news is we're in it together.
We are in it together. And I think the more that we allow ourselves to be held and when we need it and to hold others when they need it, that's where we find that nice balance, right? That nice, you don't have to suffer alone through change, and you can inspire others that it's okay not to be 100% on all the time, because that's the old way, right? That
That is,
you have to be glowing all the time, right? Like
yeah, right, right.
it's we all go through our evolutionary alchemy. But one of the things that you said that sparked something in me around some of the work, other project that I'm a part of, is the School of Light Collective. And it's this idea, and I know it's not unique, but it's this idea that when we gather together in our light, we activate the earth, the grids of the earth, and then it becomes like a repository, a source of light that actually spreads out to those that may not even be aware that they need that light grid under them. So it's like this, it's like recharging, recharging the grids every time that we open up our channel to bring it down, and then it goes across. And so the
Yeah,
more people that are doing that, the more of the earth that is going to
yeah,
have that. And
that
that's
is,
what made me, when you had that vision, when you said that, I was like, oh yeah.
that's amazing. That's amazing. And I think that one of the things I love the most about that concept is that when we are working together, even if it's not in real time because everything is quantumly entangled, right? Connected. Um, let's say maybe you're holding a meditation and I'm watching the replay later that night. That is not just the power of one and one to equal two. It exponentially multiplies. And so the more people that we can work with um, at any time, the bigger the power is um, that
Right.
that we're able to have that ripple out through the world and through across the grid.
Yeah, I agree. It's a synergistic effect. Yeah, it's not additive, it's synergistic. And I wanted to ask you, so I know for me, the inner work is probably more important in the beginning than the outer, right? In that. And so I've been working lately with some technology that actually is light technology that helps for you to get your light shown back at you so that your channel is strengthened.
Mm.
And I'm just wondering what your experience, what do you do to strengthen your channel? Because I think that would be really helpful or, very interesting for our community.
So thank you for asking. I have a few different tools that I use, and it kind of shifts over time, right? I go through phases. I find that at the very minimum, every day, I try to ground um, into the earth. I do this energetically. I know that some people like to go and put their feet on the grass or do it in a physical way. For me, energetically is enough. I'm really going through I'm actually doing a 365 day Kundalini challenge that started on January 1st. So that to me is, some people get it confused. They think it's a religion, it's a technology. And
Right.
because I have the visceral experience of seeing the energy in the earth, I'm very tuned into my energetic body. And that physical movement plus the breath plus the energy work that happens naturally through those motions is really empowering to me. And I find, most importantly, beyond any manifestation pieces to it, I find that it regulates my nervous system. So when I am having um, whether it's hormonal or emotional or based on current events, if I can keep myself regulated, then I can handle my challenges better. My highs are highs, higher, my lows are higher. And I just feel like it's, whether you're doing Kundalini or another kind of yoga or another kind of exercise, I'm really getting into movement as a tool
Mhm.
that helps me through my days. And then the one other thing I will say is I use frequency a lot. I have a couple of frequency devices, which I absolutely love. They help me with my mental health. They've helped me with physical issues. I use them with my pets every day. And it just is so exciting that we're in this time where science and spirituality are melding together. I absolutely geek out over it. I love it. It's so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely resonate with those tools as well. Kundalini yoga has changed my life, since I started practicing it. And yeah, definitely it helps that channel stay strong and it cultivates that light, that field of light in community, which I love. And so I'm glad that you mentioned that. And yeah, these frequency devices, the merging of science into these unseen realms, right? To cultivate the unseen realms is really exciting, super exciting.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that we have time for people to know how they can connect with you and all of that. But I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we save time for that because sometimes I get excited and I just want to keep on chatting. But from what you have shared today, is there a pearl of wisdom that kind of brings it all together?
Mm, let me see. Yes.
I thought so.
Actually, you and I were chatting about it before our call. I was inspired to pull a card before our call regarding the messages that were going to come through. I did pull two cards from the, let me make sure I get on camera here, from the Sacred Rebel deck.
Mhm.
And I always want to give credit where credit is due. And I pulled two cards, the Sacred Fool and Come to Life. And the Sacred Fool is really about, I took notes so I wouldn't have to think about it. Bucking convention and leaving behind what no longer feels right, following your heart, even if it looks bizarre or ridiculous. And Come to Life is about literally that, connecting with your emotions, expressing yourself, um, waking up, being alive. We can't go back now. And I think that you are here for a reason. Your soul chose this. Um, if that doesn't feel right, please reach out to me because I would love to discuss it, not to convince anybody, but just to empower. Use that as an empowering message that, okay, for some reason, I'm living this. For some reason, I'm here. There's a purpose to all of this. I will make it through. I've not been forsaken or abandoned here in this wildlife. There's
Yeah,
good that's going
beautiful.
to come out of it.
I love that. And I just wanted to tie in one little aspect that you and I were talking about before we got on to record today, and it's that, and I may not be using your words exactly, so please um, clarify. But there was an aspect of yeah, life is not all, about being light, and it's not always light, right? And it's from that darkness, those shadowy parts, that's actually where the creation takes place, right? That and to not be afraid of those shadowy or dark aspects of humanity or yourself, and knowing. So I don't know if you want to add to that, because I really felt that was a potent piece.
Yeah. I think that you can fractal it out, right? Whether it's um, an individual, me, you, somebody listening, having a personal challenge or a moment that is really, really trying them, or whether it's what we see happening on the world stage, something that is just, we can't understand how this has happened. And a lot of people are, maybe questioning, if God exists, why is this happening? When a lot of this energy has been here, let's take it at the individual moment, and I'm going to keep it short. When we shove it down, it will stay inside us, physically, energetically, emotionally. It is not until we release it, feel it to heal it. We have to feel it to heal it. So punch a pillow, scream and cry, have a sacred tantrum, um, do some Kundalini to move that energy through whatever it is. Talk to a friend. And if it's something on the world stage that you cannot comprehend, some of us are here to be activists, some of us are here to be the anchor and hold the light. And whether it's a meditation, find the thing that you can do and understand that this darkness that we're seeing on the surface is not new. It just is coming out, it's being expressed so that we can heal it. And again, if I think we do what we individually have the power to do, and that's going to be different on different days. um, Maybe somebody's going to be out there with a sign, or being an activist on social media, or whatever that looks like for them. Somebody else is going to be holding prayer. And so each each act is enough, because each act is going to represent the person that's giving that love and giving that light to the world. It's going to be individual, per moment and per person, and that's all we have to do, is just
Yes.
survive it and love it as it's leaving.
Yes. Yeah, beautiful. That ties back to the divine entertainer, which is another of the archetypes of the voices of Gaia. And it is about just essentially showing up and doing what you do, or being who you are. You don't even have to do anything. It's just being you,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
cultivating that light. So that's, yeah, thank you so much for elaborating on that. I think it's really important. during these times. And so we're coming to the end of our time together, at least this time. Maybe you can come back again.
I would love
And
that.
so how can people learn more about you? And of course, I'll have all your links and everything. But if for
Yeah.
someone that's just listening, how can they learn more about you or connect with you? And are you offering anything right now that you
Yes,
like?
yes.
Mhm.
So first of all, I have a gift for your listeners. I
Yay!
have a 10-minute emergency connect to yourself,
Awesome.
Lightworker connect. What did I name it? Lightworker emergency self connection meditation. So if you're having one of
Beautiful.
those moments, you can just tune in, and it is my free gift to you. You can find it on my website, which is linseyjoy.com, or my link tree, which is linktree/Linsey Joy. There is no D in my name, so it's LINSEYJOY.com. And I'm really excited to share that. I'm available for intuitive oracle readings, spiritual mentor coaching. I do that with frequency. And I also have a new modality of energy healing that I'm so excited to offer, theta healing. So you can come to me. And I hang out on Facebook and Instagram, and I would love to just connect. Come and shoot me a message and say hi.
Wonderful. Yes. And if you didn't catch that, I'll have it in the description for this podcast so you can find her quite easily. And it's been such a pleasure to get to know you a little bit more. I know we've been circulating in the same circle for a little while now, but I really enjoyed connecting with you here. And thank you. And I look forward to seeing your light out there. I'm
Yeah,
thrilled.
likewise. It has
Yeah.
been such an honor to connect with you, Patricia. I have admired you for so long. And so thank you for having me. And many, many thanks to Abigail for bringing us together in
Yes,
this
Abigail.
call.
She's the one who got me to start speaking light language.
Same,
on
same. She's an
on
activator.
Yeah,
She
she's like,
is.
it's you don't have to keep it in keep it for yourself. You can speak it out in public. And so there you
Yes,
go. So
yes.
thank you, Abigail. Thank you for bringing people together in their unique frequencies of light. And thank you everyone who is tuned in to this episode, and stay divinely inspired. Much love to you all. Until next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Divinely Inspired Woman. Again, I am your host, Patricia Wald-Hopkins, and I am so glad that you joined us here today. I hope you left with some soul food to inspire your daily life. And if you would like to learn more about my work, please check out my website, patriciawaldhopkins.com, and you can find out more about my divinely inspired practice and tools. So, thank you again. Have a beautiful day. Hi. I'm dropping in here with an announcement about a program, a new mentorship that I am offering. It's called Voices of Gaia, and it's about bringing your voice, your leadership, your life in alignment with Gaia's guidance. So if you feel called to learn more about this program, it's a beautiful, rich program where we dive into your essence. And if you so desire, we develop your business around it and really blossom into your whole lifestyle, this wisdom from Gaia that wants to be spoken through you. So if you feel called, reach out to me at patricia@patriciawaldhopkins.com. That's patricia@patriciawaldhopkins.com. There's no hyphen between Wald and Hopkins. And I would just love to hear from you and see if this is a good fit. So thank you for tuning in. Have a beautiful day.